Hello, so I'm back with our last lesson for this chapter 3, which is solving problems involving sampling distributions of sample mean. So we're talking about here more of the application of the central limit theorem. So by this, in the previous topic, you have learned how to use the normal distribution to gain information about the individual data value obtained from population. In this lesson, you will use the sampling distribution of the mean to obtain information about the sample mean. So a sampling distribution of a sample mean is a frequency distribution using the means computed by all possible random samples of specific size taken from a population. The probability distribution is the sample mean is also called the sampling distribution of the sample mean. So this time, we are now moving on to solving problems involving sampling distribution of sample mean. So by this, let's move on to abstraction. Then later on, we're going to discuss what is in the activity. Okay? So by this, we have here two formulas. As you see, you are very familiar with this formula because it was discussed in the normal distribution, diba? Normal distribution to. You have z-score is equals to x minus mu over the standard deviation, diba? Standard deviation. So as you can see here, so this is the formula of the z-score, normally distributed, and this is also the formula when dealing with data about sample means. So you have now the standard deviation over the square root of n, which is n is the specific number. So individual values are more variable than sample means. So the use of these two formulas in solving problem will be discussed here in the given problem. So example, the average time it takes a group of college students to complete a certain examination is 4.2. The clue there later on, the standard deviation is 8. Assume that the variable is normally distributed. So you have to assume that it is a normally distributed. So again, the given there, why is it that 46.2 is our mu? Because of the word average. Where's that average? Okay, average is the mean. So therefore, the mean given is 46.2, followed by the standard deviation, which is 8, and x is 43. Where did you get this x? Okay, so this is the additional. So what is the probability that a randomly selected college students will complete the examination less 43 minutes, meaning ubos siya sa 43 minutes. So these are the given. We have 4 steps in solving this one. So first step is identify the given information. You have the mean, the standard deviation, and the x. Step 2, identify what is asked for. So since it is less here, so that's why we are using here less than. So x is less than 40. The probability of x less than 43. Again, we are using x here because it is not yet in z form. It's not yet in z form. That's why in step 3, we identify the formula to be used. Diba? We have two choices here. Is it A or B? A or B? Is it from a population or a sample mean? Yes, it is a population. So therefore, we are going to use the formula A. So we have z is equals to x minus mu over the standard deviation to standardize 43. So solve the problem step 4 by substitution. Your x is, go back to the given, your x is 43 minus 46.2, the mu over the standard deviation, which is 8. So that is negative 4.40. So when you look in your z table, I hope it's still into you. Your z table, where's that z table? Wait a minute. With you, it should be in answering this one. It should be with your side, on your side. Okay. So when you are looking for 0.2, let's go back to the. So we need to find negative 0.40. So negative 0.40. So negative 0.4, then 0 man siya. So negative, we are looking for negative 0.40. So ours just equals to negative 0.4. So negative 0.4. So here, this is 0.3446. So 0.3446. Okay? Since it is less than, never mind this one. Yes. Okay. Never mind this one because the given z table is again from left to right. This table is already the answer because it is less than. From left to right na ni siya ha. So no need to minus minus. Go back to our previous discussion about normal distribution. When it is less than, kung ano yung area binigay ng z table, that is already the answer because it is from left to right. Kung greater than naman, you subtract 1 here sa z area. Kung greater than. Kung between naman, this is greater than. Okay? Kung in between naman, the z area, the larger z area minus the smaller z area. Okay? Please take note of that one. So, no need na this one kasi pag hinanap natin to sa z table, ito na automatic na yung answer because it is from left to right. No need to subtract 0.50. So, therefore, the probability that a random selected college students will complete the examination in less than 43 minutes is 0.3446 or 34.46%. Okay? So, that is your problem number letter A. Let's proceed to letter B. If random selected students take the examination, so we already have another set, 50 randomly selected college student, meaning selected is sample. So therefore, what is the probability that the mean type less than 43 again? So because of the word randomly selected, we have limitation, we have a sample size, therefore we are going to make use of the formula letter B. So the given now is, again, still the mean is 46.2, standard deviation is 8, the mean bar, the x bar now, because we are talking about sample here, instead of using mu here, we are using now x bar because it is now randomly selected, which is a sample mean. Okay, be careful with your symbols. So again, it is not anymore mu because it is not population, it is already a x bar because of it is a sample mean. Then meron na po tayong additional na n, which is the randomly selected college students, which is n is equals to 50. So less than po ulit. So we have now step 2, probability of x bar is less than 43. Again, yung difference nila, they are using mean. Yes, the mean. Okay, the mean. The mu. So the x bar. So the x bar is less than 43. So identify the formula to be used. So okay. So identify the formula to be used. So we have now the problem is dealing with sample means. So the formula to be used is standardized is z is equals to the formula b, x bar minus the mu over the standard deviation over square root of n. So by substitution, since again it is less than, no need for you to this have because it will make things complicated. Just stick to the table because it is less than. So after substitution, then you look for the value of negative 2.83, negative 2, negative 2.8, this one. Then we are looking for negative 2.83, so negative 2.8, then here. So where did they meet? So 0.0023. Let's check. Yes, that is 0.0023. So the probability that 50 random selected college students will complete the test in less than 43 minutes is 0.0023 or 0.23%. In the two problems presented and solved, the probability A is larger than B because individual values are more variable than the sample mean. So again, the greater the sample, the nearer to the possible answers or mas swak ang yung result. Kontra, if you're just going to validate sample only. So yeah, that's true that individual values are more variable than the sample ones. Suppose, ma'am, if you're given here, say for example may clue ko lang, say for example here, this one, the given is not standard deviation. Say for example, the average is 46.2, and that is not a standard deviation, variance. So the variance is 8. If that is the given, you should get the standard deviation first before solving the equation or using the formula, because it is standard deviation. So if the given is variance in here, say for example the standard deviation is a variance, so the variance is 8 minutes, blah blah blah, you need to get the square root of 8. That is 2.83. So that is your standard deviation. That would be substituted here. You are not going to substitute 8 here because that is the variance. Say for example lang ha, it's okay because the given here is standard deviation, but what if there is a problem there and the given is a variance? Then you have to get first the standard deviation of that variance before substituting it to the formula. The same thing to the formula B, you need to get first the standard deviation because it is what is ginagamit. So hindi po ginagamit ang standard deviation in this formula. Kaya if the variance is given, you need to get the square root of it for you to have the value of your standard deviation. So I hope it's clear to you in solving problems like this, and you are now ready to answer your modules. And good luck, and see you to our last chapter 4 for our third quarter.